Okay, so I think record is started. First of all, so this is contain both Windows Server and as well as Windows 10 also. First of all, we have to talk about some points. What is that? What is peer-to-peer? There is a certain definitions you have to check it. So not a definitions, you have to understand few things. Peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer. So what is peer-to-peer? Yeah, it's a paint. I want to open paint only. So this is one system. This is another system. Okay. Both are connected in the network. This is symbolic representation of both systems are connected in the network. Okay. So you need to put a switch. Don't think it is a bus topology. Okay. So think it is a both systems are connected. So that is networkly they are connected. Now, for example, this is PC1 or PCA. This is PCB. Okay. So PCA contains some data. PCB want to access the data. So it will send a request to PCA. So then PCA shared a data already. So you can able to access the data. Yeah. Means this PCA giving a data, PCB accessing the data. So one system act like a server, like it is giving a service, like that one, but it is not really not giving any service. Okay, not permanent service is not there. For example, I have a printer. This printer is connected. Okay, the printer is connected to the PCB. PCA want to access this printer through network. Through PCB, it can able to access. Okay, so now PCB is giving print related services. So this is a peer-to-peer. Okay, it is like a one-to-one communication, like unicast communication only. It is sharing information or resources between system in systems without central server. So you don't have any central server. This is called a peer-to-peer. Next one is server and client. Another model is server and client. In server and client model, it is little different from your peer-to-peer. What is a peer-to-peer? There is a 2 systems or 3 systems or 10 systems are there. Okay, but there are sharing informations, sharing resources, sharing data. So obviously it's a peer-to-peer communication, not from one single entity. It is from one to another one. What is this client and server? Client and servers model are like this. 1 second. So done with here, but cannot able to sign. Okay, no, understand. Put a Alt Control Insert button is there. In keyboard, you can see Insert button. insert button, alt control insert, okay, instead of alt control delete. Otherwise you can go, you can find this one, you can click there. Okay, so this is my central PC. For example, that is a web server. Think like it is a web server. Now it is a web server. Tomorrow is also it's a web server. Day after tomorrow also it is web server, like that. It is a web server for a one PC and as well as all PCs also. Okay, so obviously we can say it is, this is a server and these are accessing things from the server. The server can be any type of server it is. It can be a web server, DHCP server, DNS server, or like that. So what it is, whenever the client required, servers provide a services. Server is one, of course, multiple servers are there, but you can say like a single server is give services to multiple people. Like it will provide IP address services, name and IP address services, web services, file services, authentication services, remote connectivity services, okay, deployment services, update services will be provided, application connectivity services, okay, mail services, database services from the single machine. So server and client, not one-to-one communication. So one to many, not, don't think it is like a one-to-one means unicast. One to many meaning is it's a multicast or a broadcast. Do not think like that, guys. So it's, I'm trying to tell is there is a one server, many clients. It's a one server to many clients we can able to access. It's a centralized server is centralized one. Next, important, remember always, server provide a service, server provide a service and client access service. Okay, so one server to many clients, centralized server. It's a centralized architecture it is. We cannot say, we now need to put a centralized server, we just say centralized kind of stuff. We provide a service and client access services. Okay, server provide a service, client access service. Okay, one server will give services to many servers. Now I want to go with different types of servers. I'm telling in a different ways of this one. It is not really a different type of servers. It is depends upon the services. We have a servers and other things also there. Guys, again look at here. So it depends upon service. Server will call as a different type of servers based on the service they are providing. For example, IP address provider like a DHCP server. What is DHCP server? It provide IP address to client. Provide or assign then IP address to the client. DNS server. It maps name to IP address, and what it will do, if you give name, okay, if you give name and returns IP address of IP address of IP address of that host. Pre-qualified domain name. Authentication server. Example of authentication server is Active Directory domain controller kind of stuff. So it uses like a kerberos, LDAP, authentication server, LDAP authentication server. Web server, FTP server, file server, remote desktop server, WDS server, deployment server. Okay, deployment server meaning is it install OS through network. Install a OS through network also, not required CD DVD always. WSUS type is a update server. Update the systems. Later. Remote access or VPN server. Server like this. There is a certification servers. Okay, certification server is there. Certification server is there. Okay, what we can say, file access management server, iSCSI target server is there. Data deduplication server is there. Work folder servers are there. Okay. Database servers also there. Application server is there. Database server. That is important. Next, mail server. Example of mail server: Microsoft Exchange, Zimbra, Squirrel Mail. Like this. Database servers. By installing application, a machine become a server. So, Oracle database server, MySql server. Okay, PostgreSQL server. Application servers like a Tomcat, glassfish. Okay, like that. Exam servers, exam related servers also there. Okay, streaming servers are there. YouTube like a streaming servers are there. Search engines are there. Google search engine, Bing search engine, engines also. Okay. So why I divide this one? These are the sometimes default in the operating system. This is our by application. So don't worry. Okay, so by installing an application, like you install Oracle DB, it's a database server is ready. So install a Exchange server, mail Exchange server like a Microsoft Exchange, you will get a mail servers. Okay, these are based on a services, based on a what service is providing. Based on that, we call that one as a server, mail server, application server, web server. These are all names comes from either through operating system, the particular service is installed, or by application, install application, you become a server. Next, OS based. You take a machine and you install a server. You take a machine and you install a server operating system. That is also called as a server. From Windows server, if you write it from starting NT, guys, NT means new technology. Whenever you see new NT, new technology, NTFS, new technology file system, like that. Windows NT 2000, 2003, 2008, 2008 Enterprise R2, 2012, 2012 R2, 2016, 2019. Like this. And also the Linux and Unix comes to Windows server based on the things. Not only this one, server virtualization technology based. Server virtualization technology by installing hypervisors. Okay, so it means virtual servers, not virtual servers. Virtualization server, it's a physical server only. Purpose is virtualization. Server virtualization by installing hypervisor. So what are the hypervisors are there? So VMware, Sphere, Hyper-V, Gen server. Okay, Gen server. These are all server based virtualization, hardware based. Okay, tower server. Rack and blade. Tower servers are look like this one. So tower. It is based on your hardware configuration. Normal servers are regular our computers. Our computers having a very less capacities. Okay. Okay. Normal systems we have. I have a computer, laptop is there. I can install a server in that one. But what is the thing? Compulsory 24/7. It should be run. Okay. Any problem occurs immediately. Oops, sorry. Okay. So you can see it is a 50,000 tower server. The processor model is also different from our regular processor. You can go to description is not given, not much. Okay, so it is support for your processor. See, processor Xeon processor Intel, Xeon processor 3.3 gigahertz, processor count 4, supporting RAM is so it contains 8 GB RAM, supporting is more also. Okay, so this is tower server. It look like your normal computer desktop. Next, rack server. Rack server is pretty straight one. So this is a rack. It occupy one single rack like this. What is inserting is called a blade. Blade, it can be put it in a multiple racks, and multiple racks create one which at a center. So here it is. It is what is inserting is blade. What is a blade? Blade, that is also a hardware having, and also operating system are there. Okay, or a backup purpose. Okay, so what is this blade? Blade is a blade set. But if you see a full rack in that blade place, can go through racks only. Okay, so entire one single rack belongs to a single server. If you don't want, like you want to put multiple, then you have to can able to attach it. So tower server, rack server, and blade server. We call them as a server, but they are not really a server. They are just servant themselves or a working. What I'm trying to speak, guys, my mind is spinning suddenly. You know, I really am speaking something. Oh, okay, guys. Again, tower server, rack server, blade server. Tower server is like a individual PC. It is a individual system type. You need a 2-3 servers. You can't put more cost. Then go for tower server. So tower server take consume space, but limited only. Okay. But what is the rack server? For example, you require to put a multiple server, like a 3, 4, 5 servers. You have to put it. Then we'll go to the rack. Each rack, the rack point, it is a nothing but a single server hardware. Okay, that is a rack server. What is means one single rack? You can put a multiple servers in it. Server storage, everything you can able to put it. So next one is a blade. So in the space of a blade server, in the place of blade server, you can put a multiple servers. So somewhere it will be shows blade server. The guy is inserting that is a blade server. These are the blade servers only. The blade contains processor, RAM, NVRAM, and everything is there inside. Just you have to insert it, then it will start working. So this is blade server. So in a really, we should not call them as the servers, but still it is hardware based. We call something as a server. Operating system wise. So what happened? Tower server, rack server, and blade server, and mainly different type of services are there based on the servers, based on the operating system, Windows 2016, 19. Okay. So this is a depends upon the server model. We call them as a server. But if server is giving a proper services. Okay. Yeah. Peer-to-peer client and server and client. Next one is work group and domain. First of all, very important question. One of the important question is anyway. This is what is work group and domain. So work group and domain, and what is domain? What are the importance of domain? I will tell. But currently my head is spinning. I need just a 5-10 minutes rest. Okay. Let's take a 10 minutes break. Okay, I will explain the work group and domain. Okay.